What was socially acceptable in the 1990s, but not in 2025?
Letting kids roam around all day with no phone or tracking at all.
To be honest, I feel like the constant helicopter parenting has had a detrimental effect on the development of kids.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
My mom would drop me and my friends off at the mall or an amusement park, and we would call the operator on the payphones to check the time. Weird stuff about barely legal girls. It was really odd. Like, all of popular TV and media had a thing about 16 to 18-year-olds.
This is why I don't get why everyone's acting so shocked, like Pikachu face, that celebrities from that era did awful things. Like, duh, things were awful then, and it wasn't exactly a secret.
Making plans with someone multiple days in advance, not talking to them about it again, and just showing up without having to confirm that day that your plans are still on.
It amazes me now that you pretty much have to confirm up to the time it's supposed to happen that it's still going to happen. How did people get so flaky with committing to something on the calendar? If I make plans, they are locked down. If something comes up, I will let you know as soon as I know I can no longer commit to what we scheduled. In the meantime, I will be working hard to make sure I don't have a schedule conflict. I don't flake on plans. If I don't want to do something, I'll tell you I'm not going to do it. I don't tell you I'll do it and then back out at the last minute.
My friends and I made plans to go to a comedy club back in the 90s. I showed up a few minutes late, didn't see my friends, so I figured they were inside already. Paid and went in, but wasn't able to find my friends. I got seated at some random table that had a free seat. Place was packed. The comedian turned out to be Judy Tenuta. She was funny as hell. I found my friends somewhere else after the show. They told me they weren't allowed in, it was 18 and up only. For some reason, the club didn't ask my age. They just let me in. My friends never did believe me that I got to see Judy Tenuta that night.
This is what led to the breakdown of one of my modern-day long-term relationships. I really loved her, but in the space of 2 years, she canceled plans 52 times on the day. In the 90s, you had to show up. But in modern times, you can't be bothered, so a quick message would do. I was deeply in love with her, so I stupidly let it slide for too long, and she would always say, "But I'm like that with everyone." Well, you, my dear, are a cunt.
Going all the way to the terminal to see your friends off to their plane.
Being excited when the phone rang. It was like, whoa, hey, the phone's ringing. Wonder who it could be and who it's for. Now, when my phone rings, I know it's for me, who's calling, and I feel instant resentment at the intrusion.
Your phone rings? Mine has been on silent since like 2008. I feel resentment because this person named Spam, I assume it's short for Spamuel or Samantha, likely keeps calling me from a lot of different numbers. Imagine if it was a human. Just walks up to you and expects you to stop whatever you are doing and give them 20 minutes of your time. Showing up at someone's house unannounced to hang out. My friend group even had a special knock so you knew who was at the door before they would just let themselves in. I don't understand why people seem to always say this these days. My kids' friends used to show up unannounced all the time when they used to play at the park. Sure, now they're 17 and 18, so they don't go out and play like they used to. But kids used to always be running around my house unannounced. My house always had an open door to my kids' friends. No need to knock, just come on in. I do not know if this was a 90s thing or just a childhood thing, to be honest. Authenticity. The idea of criticizing people for selling out now just seems so quaint. And it was the no-no of the 90s. I jokingly referred to someone as a poser recently, and I had this same realization. Knocking on the door of a random house miles away from your own and asking to use their landline to call your mom because you lost track of time and it got dark. Oh my God, this unlocked some memories for me. That really was wild, huh? Not being reachable. I mean, thankfully, the people I know are okay with hours between texts and so on, but I get the impression that most people these days expect instant replies. I have the expectation that texts are when it's convenient for replies. That can be, I have my phone on me right now, so I'll respond right away, all the way to, this is just for your information, no need to respond. Folks have things going on.
and expecting them to get back to you immediately via text is incredibly rude and disrespectful of their time. If something is immediate or time-sensitive, I'll call you. If you don't pick up, I'll leave a voicemail and send a text to have you call me back as soon as possible. If it's super urgent, I'll call you again after a few minutes. After that, I just have to proceed without your input. No hard feelings, I'll catch you up later.
For some reason, it's the boomers in my life that expect an instant reply to a text and not my fellow millennials. Call me if you need an answer right now.
Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. I must be out, or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home.
Calling things gay. I do not know why, but we called everything uncool gay, even though no one really cared about someone being homosexual. Edit. When I said no one, I was really only talking about my friends and the people around me. Definitely not trying to deny the existence of gay hate. Much love.
People were a lot less accepting of people being gay in the 90s. That was kind of the beginning of it being normalized, but I remember people were still quite in the closet and had to be a bit careful about it. There was still a certain amount of pretending fairly obviously gay celebrities maybe weren't gay as well. Unfortunately, a lot of people at the time did care about people being gay. People, myself included, got the shit beat out of them at the slightest hint of possibly being gay. I had family who threatened to kill me if I turned out to be a lesbian, and we weren't even a religious family. I'm not a lesbian. I consider myself to be comfortably straight. But even the slightest appearance of doing something perceived as gay was dangerous.
Leaving notes for people you live with, or expecting. If you're waiting for someone to visit but have to quickly go buy milk, you would leave a note on your door. Dear Michelle, I left at 12:25 to buy milk. I will be back at 12:40. Don't leave. Or on your table for your family. I've gone to Robbie's. Be back at 7. The cat is outside.
I still do this all the time for my husband. Sometimes I don't want to intrude or text, and it's just easier to jot down a quick note. Just calling people a lot to talk to them. No texts, no scheduling. Like, call them and expect them to answer on their landline. My high school girlfriend and I used to fall asleep on the phone regularly after talking for hours, and wake up in the morning still connected. I'd wake up to her telling me to wake up for school when the phone was still under my ear. It was a sweet memory. I also knew that girl better than anyone I think I ever had because of how much we talked on the phone when we weren't together. I wonder how many kids have that experience today. I still do that with a friend who is 87. She has a cell phone, but she's really intimidated by texting. So unlike my other friends, I can't send a text and ask if it's a good time to call. Not gonna lie, I do this. Sometimes I text, but lately I just call a friend, ask if they're busy, and if not, then I ask if they wouldn't mind just chatting on the phone while I drive or do whatever I'm doing. And it's fine. I only do this with a small, selective number of friends. As far as I know, all my friends love the calls and don't mind them.
Maybe this has already been said and I didn't scroll down far enough, but leaving your kids in the car while you went grocery shopping. Obviously it was only done when the weather allowed, but my brothers and I were left in the car several times a week while my mom went into the store without us.
My mom locked the doors and left me in the car to go grocery shopping because I thought it was the most boring thing ever to go in with her. I'm assuming it's illegal to do that now or something. Not a parent, but it's so weird to me that this is no longer acceptable when the weather is cool and the location is comparatively safe. I loved reading in the car while my mom grocery shopped. She'd say, lock the doors, and I'd say, and hope they don't have blasters. And then I'd read for 40 minutes. Never had anyone bother me.
This is still socially acceptable in my country, Denmark.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It really helps. Subscribe for more, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next one.